All right, so now that we got the bolts out from here, that 7/16, and that Allen up here for the ignition, now we gotta unhook your vents. So this right here is like for your engine to get a little breath, a little breathing room, you might wanna say. You can see it right here, it goes up and it comes up right here, as you can tell. Feels like mine, it's just zip tie right here, so we're gonna go ahead and pull that out of the zip tie. If we can. That joint's pretty tight, right? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. And then we'll just pull that on up so we're ready to go. It's time to pull the tank. Now, we got that out as you can tell. All right, it's all ready. Now, we also have to unhook this one here. Okay. So right here, this one has to go. If I can pull this apart. Bam, there we go. Just like that, so. And just leave it here. If you like me, I take pictures of all these things as I go, so to make sure I put them back where they're supposed to go, okay? And I try to leave them in the same positions, so this will indicate that that's where it goes once I come back to it, all right? So that's on the other side, we're gonna take the fuel line loose. All right, so I'm on the side with the gas tank, right? See this right here, this is the gas line coming to the tank, and this is the coupling. The idea here is to push the coupling upward, and then if you have to pull down on the line gently, you don't wanna break this connection. I got a rag down here just in case it leaks a little bit. It shouldn't be a whole lot because it's gonna be pretty quick, all right? So let me do that and I'll cut you back on. Now keep in mind, this is what it should look like when you're done, but you might have to tap this just a couple of times, just lightly with a screwdriver. I wouldn't recommend a hammer. Nobody's probably pulled that down on your bike in forever. So it may be a little tight from wearing, riding, and all that good stuff. We gotta get these bolts here, and then we'll move to these over here, up under this cover right here. The T40 star pattern, right? And when you put these in, this is not a regular screw, so don't just come up here and think you're just gonna bully it. You're gonna wanna get some pressure down and then turn, all right, until it gets loose. And it may be tight for real, all right? So let me get these off real fast. Now we're on the front bolts, right here, still T40s. Remember, you're gonna need some pressure. Do not try to just loosely grab it. You're gonna be pushing in while you're turning. And then we'll get the other side in a second. So now that we got all of the bolts taken out here, the little plastic bracket, the fronts are out, as you can see up in there on both sides. Now what we're gonna do, in order to get the tank out, we're not just gonna lift it straight up. We're gonna actually lift it back like so, and then we're gonna pull towards the back of the motorcycle, but we're gonna make sure we got a good hand in here, all right, so we can hold on to something. All right, so you shouldn't have a full tank of gas when you're doing this. It's a lot easier if you don't, but since I'm the only one holding the camera, obviously you ain't gonna be able to see me do this. But again, we're gonna lift up this part first, and then we're gonna slide it back with our left hand here and right hand in here, wherever you can grab, and then make sure you already know where you're gonna put it down at. Now that we got the tank off, it's time to go ahead and move into the next phase of this. Let's go. All right, guys, so it's time to wire these bars up. So you can see I have my new wires here, and these are my 20-inch pullback dominoes. I got these custom made. Let me unwrap them real quick, and then we'll get to it. Identifying your cables, which side is gonna go to the throttle, and what side is going to go to the clutch. In my case, this is my throttle cable right here. You may have to search yours, and here's the clutch side control system over there. So figure that out for yourself. It's just easy, man. You can go on YouTube and search for it. You'll jump, Google yours. And then if you got bars, keep them covered up until you're ready to use them. Just open up your, you know what I'm saying, where you're gonna be importing your wires through. And then get you some weed wire string or whatever you want to call it, and then some tape, and that's all you need. Tape it to the ends. Make sure you tape these up good, But don't cut it, don't tape it where you may damage the actual wire, okay? You don't want to put any pressure on the wire itself either. So be careful of that. And there it is, guys. Finally got them through there. I don't know why the throttle side took like 2 minutes, but the other side, oh my God, 20 minutes plus on that thing. So yeah, so we got those ready to go. So now we're gonna take them back to the bike, and once we do that, we'll take the old ones off as well as the controls, and we'll get these mounted up. Okay, so now we're back. We're about to go ahead and take off the side of the gauge clusters. So I have 3 plugs. This is one. There's one straight down here, and then there's another one on this side right here. And the clip is actually under this one, so be careful with that one. And in order to get that off, you are gonna have to turn your initial switch to this side. So it was this way. I just turned it that way. All right. And you already got your plug out, so don't worry about it. And then next, we'll come back and we'll get rid of these, or pull these for the clutch and the throttle side. All right, so let me get to that real quick. All right, so we're in here now. Had to come to my handy pocket Allen, I called it, the Swiss Army knife of Allen wrenches, to get these off, because none of my tools actually fit this thing without a whole lot of play. And surprisingly, I thought this was going to literally rip this thing apart, but it actually worked. So that was a good thing. So let me get these off, and then I'll get this loosened up just a little bit, and then we'll get this, like I said, separated from the throttle and the clutch side, and then we'll crack open these and take these off, and then we'll separate these on both sides, the reservoirs, and then we'll let them hang. I'll find some rags or something to tie around those, and I'll cut y'all back on. Okay guys, so what you're looking at right now, I've already taken off the master cylinder and the mirror on this side, off of the handlebars, and this is the back side of the controls on the throttle side. You notice there's a screw at the top and there's a screw at the bottom, fits on basically like this. Here's your go-to for finding out which side your wires work. If you have like trash instructions or whatever, notice the controllers here. You know what I'm saying, the sockets here. So you got that small skinny one with 1 wire, and then you have the one with the 4. So that's how you know your wires will match up when you're changing out your bars. All right, so we got that going. I'm gonna wrap this up in a rag, and luckily I get to wipe these down too while I'm in here. So we're gonna do the other side, and then we'll be getting ready to mount the bars. So I'll turn you back on in a second. Almost forgot, guys. Okay, in order to get this off right here, you don't just pull it. All you do is find this little flap right here. Right, see that little flap? And then all you do is get up under it, squeeze gently, and then that comes off, and then you can take it off, all right? But don't try to do that hard. If you do it hard and break it. Remember I told you this is the back side. These bolts are, I believe, a T25, so these must be the 27s on that front side of the master cylinder, which holds, buckles up to this. So keep that in mind. You need 2 different sides of the star wrenches for that. Okay, so now that you have that back side off like we talked about, and you just hit that clip right here, lifted that up so this could release. Now, as soon as you take this off, here gently, you'll notice it'll hang, but your grip should come right off, just like that. Now notice the position. If you don't have any experience with the throttle inside, take a picture of it. This is how you want it to seat in your new bars as well. So make sure you're paying attention to that, or your throttle will not work. Most of the bikes around 2016, maybe 2018, have this pin right here. And from what I've learned is that you gotta either saw this off, because the factory handlebars come with this pin, this hole for this pin, or for you just take your hammer and tap it all the way down, or you get a drummer with one of those metal blades and saw it off evenly. My throttle, because I got the bars chrome, it makes the hole smaller, like doing powder coating. So now this is how tight it is to get my throttle in here. It should just be easy enough for you to pull, and it comes right out. But mine is tight. Now it's still working, as you can tell. If I can get around to it, you can hear it snapping like it's supposed to. But if you get new bars, I would tell you, I've had triple OGs before. I didn't have this problem with my other ones, but I wasn't running these particular lines at the time either. So that's gonna be something if you had an older bike, like my Road King was a 04. So that's something to think about. You may have to put a bit or a brush inside of here to see if it fits comfortably. Now this right here is the factory bars. You see that little pin I was telling you about actually goes in that little hole there. You can see they had to drill that out for whatever reason they utilized that. But that just gives you, like I said, a reason why you need to go ahead and either cut that off or pound it down. So again, here's the pin, and then we just tap it, man. Feel it smooth. Too easy. All right, guys, so we back. Hope y'all can see everything I'm seeing. Really ain't used to using these metal glasses yet. So what I got right now, I just put them up, and I see I got a lot of room for my cords, which is always a great thing. Now we just stuff these out the way for a second, because I want to get the bars on here so they can just sit down for a second, and then I'll finish unwrapping them, but we don't want to scratch them in the process, or scratch the fans as well. So all you do is look at your tree pattern, and you can see this is what I have. Hopefully I can get at least one of these in without dropping the screw. You know how this goes, man. Always something, right? See if we can't get one started, and go from there. I think this might be the one. All right, bars are sitting well for a second, so we should be good. All right. And this is why I advise you guys being careful when you're doing this type of stuff. You don't want to slam you down. Imagine if you had your tank on and you slam down, it would not be good. We wrestle with this for a second. All right, there we go. I got some love now. Still got some maneuvering to do, but as you can tell, it's already seated here. I'm pretty much on this side, so we just got to do some wiggling and get this last one over here started, and we'll be good, right? And we just tap this on in here, like so. I remember these risers are not really like banged down. I don't know the exact torque spec, but they shouldn't go forward or backwards if you're hitting brakes or you're taking off, that's for sure. They should be able to stay stable where you have them. And if you're having problems with that, you may want to take them back off and change the bushings. And the bushes are loaded on the opposite plate under here, right up under there. You'll see them. They're typically black foam or black rubber, and that'll help push from the back to secure the bars to where you want them. As you can tell, see they already tightening up. I haven't even really got the top ones even started good yet. And really we're just putting them here for position. I'm not actually locking them down yet, because I still got to do controls and all of that stuff. Get the seat back on and really get a good look at it. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll turn you guys back on in just a second. All right, so next thing to look for when you're doing your controls, on the back side of your control cover here, you'll notice this little divot here. Your factory bars, it has a hole in the back of your bars, but your new bars 9 times out of 10 does not have it. And if I were you, I would not try to drill a hole for it. I would just go ahead and either take a hammer, knock this off, or a Dremel, and again smooth it on down just like the contour of the shape, so that when it goes on, you don't have this extra space in here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but obviously it's not going inside the bar, so it sits up a little bit more like this instead of this. All right, so let me go knock that off. Be back in a second. And just like that, with a quick tap, came off, and it came off. Not exactly smooth, but it is pretty level. So I'm gonna smooth it on down just a little bit so it doesn't scratch up the chrome on the bars. So now what we're gonna do is go ahead and get the clutch side controls on. If you notice, we already have these on, and also everything is ran at this point. These are all new wires. They'll be connecting to these 4 connectors as well as this one here. The next step after we get these on, and basically, you know, you're just connecting this back in here, like so, here. And bam, that's pretty much it for that, right? And then, of course, you be careful, you know, very mindful when you're doing these. So, and then once you get this here, as you can see, it's halfway on already. It's flush, right? Flush. And then we take this. You know, we need this little connector to bite here. Then you heard that click. Don't do it hard. And then you grab your backing. So now we're at the unveiling, and then I'm going to adjust them the way I want to. But you can see I got both sets of controls on. I can't really go further yet. I hope you guys really appreciate you know, the time that I put into this, trying to get every little step for you guys, make it a little bit easier, because I know the dealer prices are crazy right now. I got them all for, I think it was 50 on eBay, and then the wires. So about $240, and that was with shipping, right, for that. And like I said, I called on some of those places for the kits. Some of them, they wanted $650, some $400. Man, it's just crazy. It ain't really what I really want to see on this channel. So yeah, so that's what we got. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. If I'm getting all long-winded, you know what I'm saying? But let's chop them down so you guys can get a good look, and then you know, kind of see everything that's going on here. Yeah. Pretty good. I think they were a great choice. My bike had already had a lot of chrome, so it didn't make sense to try to change up without having to change the full exhaust and all that stuff. So, you know, sometimes you just go with what you got, man.